Today we're going to talk about a true legend of the Gilded Age. We're talking about a palace of just, unimaginable luxury that once stood tall on the New York City skyline. And then, poof, it was just gone.
I mean, it sounds like something out of a movie, right? But this is the absolutely true story of the Petit Chateau. It was an architectural masterpiece that literally disappeared, leaving behind this ghost that kind of haunts the corner of Fifth Avenue and 52nd Street to this day. So let's dive into this incredible architectural mystery.
You have to understand, this wasn't just any building. It was a statement piece from one of America's most fascinating, most over-the-top eras. And today, all that's left are a few haunting photographs and drawings.
Now, to really get the chateau, you have to get the time it was built in. The Gilded Age. Man, it was just an explosion of new money, incredible new technology, and seriously fierce social competition. And back then, nothing, and I mean nothing, said I've made it quite like building your very own palace right in the middle of Manhattan.
Okay, so who were the masterminds behind this vanished palace? Well, that brings us to one of the most powerful families in American history, the Vanderbilts. And believe me, their ambition was every bit as big as their fortune.
So our story really kicks off with William K. Vanderbilt. This guy wasn't just born into wealth, he was born into a full-blown dynasty. His grandfather, Cornelius, built this massive empire from shipping and railroads. Then his father, William Henry, took that and became the richest man in America. So you can just imagine the pressure on William K. to keep that legacy going.
And let's just take a second to talk about the scale of the money we're dealing with. When William K. got his inheritance back in 1885, it was $55 million. In today's money, that is over $1.7 billion. That's not just I'm rich money, that is nation-building, city-shaping kind of wealth.
But here's the thing. William wasn't the only one driving this project. Not even close. His wife, Alva Erskine Smith, was famously incredibly ambitious and determined. See, the family had the money, for sure, but Alva wanted the social status to match it. She was the visionary who saw a mansion not just as a home, but as a weapon to conquer New York's high society wars.
So together, they set out to create something much more than just a house. They were forging an icon, a building so unbelievably magnificent that it would demand respect and force those old money elites to finally admit that the Vanderbilts were at the very top.
But here's the crazy part. The mansion's entire life was just a flash of brilliance. Construction starts in 1878, it's done by 82, it has its legendary coming out party just a year later, and by 1927, it's gone. The whole thing. Vanished in less than 50 years. Just wild.
Now, to bring a vision like this to life, you have to hire the best. So they got the guy, architect Richard Morris Hunt. And what he designed was nothing short of revolutionary. I mean, at a time when everything was brownstones and brick, he basically imported the regal style of a French chateau and dropped it right on Fifth Avenue. It set a whole new extravagant standard for Gilded Age luxury.
The outside alone was just a fortress of taste. It was carved from beautiful Indiana limestone by over 40 artisans. Every single detail, from that slate roof to the intricate Gothic carvings, it was all designed to scream power and refinement.
But hey, if you thought the outside was impressive, the inside was absolutely breathtaking. Okay, so just imagine this. You walk in and you are hit with this colossal 60-foot-long grand hall. The walls are made of this creamy cane stone that was imported from France, and there's this huge grand staircase lit by stained glass. The scale was almost medieval.
From there, you'd probably move into the dining hall. The centerpiece was this incredible double fireplace that was a signature of the architect, and it was surrounded by walls just covered in these intricate wood and stone carvings. This room was made for legendary parties.
But the true masterpiece, the real showstopper, was the Louis XIV style salon. Get this, the entire room was designed and built in Paris, then it was disassembled, shipped over, and reassembled in New York. This one room single-handedly sparked a citywide craze for 18th century French interiors. It was the ultimate status symbol.
And that quote really gets to the heart of it. The Petit Chateau was never just a place to live. Every single room, every carving, every painting was a very deliberate message to the world about the Vanderbilts' power, their culture, and their taste. It was a flex, plain and simple.
And for a short time, that message was received loud and clear. The mansion became the absolute epicenter of New York society, the stage for one of the most famous parties in American history.
This was it.
The main event, the entire reason the house was built. In March of 1883, Alva hosted a masquerade ball that was so extravagant, so exclusive, that it finally forced the gatekeepers of old New York society to accept the Vanderbilts. It was a complete and total social victory.
And then, it was over. After all that effort, all that money, all that glory, the mansion was sold in 1926. And just 1 year after that, the wrecking ball showed up. So the palace that defined an entire era was torn down to make way for commercial storefronts and office buildings. It was a casualty of progress, I guess you'd say. Its incredible grandeur was replaced by the practical needs of a new, faster-paced New York. So, what's left of this masterpiece? Well, its physical form is gone forever, but its echo, its legacy, that tells us a lot about our own world.
Today, our only window into this lost world is through these archives. The mansion has become a myth, right? It's a symbol of a level of opulence that's almost impossible for us to imagine now, preserved only in black and white. Ultimately, the story of the Petit Chateau isn't just about a building. It's this really poignant reminder that nothing, not even a palace built with a vast fortune, is permanent. Our cities, our values, our ideas of what progress even means, they're always changing.
And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about. In our modern world, with our focus on constant development and moving forward, would a masterpiece like this actually be saved, or would it suffer the exact same fate? It really makes you think about what we as a society choose to preserve and what we're willing to just let disappear forever.